This time I'm going to show you how to knit a Jacquard pattern. I find it easiest to use 2 fingers to do it. And that way you don't get your balls of yarn in a muddle, and it is much easier than doing all the changeovers on the right side. So let me show you. We begin by looking at the pattern, and this pattern is available online. And it shows us exactly what to do. Here it says knit 10 rounds, which I've already done for you. And now we begin with the pattern, working from right to left. Because we're working in the round, we read the pattern from right to left the whole way up. So 1 stitch in coral, then 3 stitches in pink. We need to cast on the strand, like so. Make sure you have the right strand and place it over your left index finger. The coral strand goes over your right index finger. Hold them a bit more tightly, and we need 3 stitches in pink. 1 is done already, and the second is just a matter of which strand you pull up. Now we need 7 stitches in coral, but by the 4th stitch, to anchor the floating strand and so avoid long loops along the back, we do as follows. So insert, go under the pink strand, and there you have your 4th coral stitch. So let me show you the back. Here you can see how we've anchored the yarn. Now 3 stitches in pink, then 7 stitches in coral, securing the pink yarn by the 4th stitch again. So insert, under the pink yarn, yarn over with the coral, and that anchors it down. When using colourwork techniques like our Jacquard pattern here, we always use a half size larger knitting needle. So instead of size 2.5mm, we're using 3mm needles. That's because with the loops running along the back, your work tends to pull a bit more tightly. So using size 3 needles helps you get the correct size for your socks. If you're going to knit striped socks, then my tip for getting the stripes nice and horizontal is, when changing colour, work the first stitch, not in the stitch itself, but in the row just below. This keeps the stripes nice and straight instead of lying a bit higher up. That's my tip for knitting stripes. You can decide for yourself how wide you want to knit your stripes. Everyone has their own preferences. I'm going to show you how to use the Jacquard technique on 5 needles, and I'll show you how I find it easiest to knit, so using 2 fingers. So place the main active yarn that you'll be using the most of on your right index finger, and the pink goes on the left index. The first stitch is a coral stitch, then we have 3 stitches in pink. So cast on your yarn, and pull up the yarn from your left finger. Then work 7 stitches in coral. By the 4th stitch, anchor the pink strand at the back to avoid long loops running along the back of your work. We do it like this, so insert through the stitch on the needle, go under the pink strand, yarn over, and pull through as usual. Let me work a few more stitches. And now you can see how the yarn is nicely secured here on the back by the 4th stitch. Then we have another 3 stitches in pink. Then 7 stitches in coral. Make sure that this needle here that you're busy knitting onto, that you hold it behind the foremost needle. This helps prevent ladders from forming down your sock. And just like this, follow the rest of the Jacquard pattern in the knitting chart.